Hey y'all, this is Brittany, and I am the owner of Out of the Box Virtual Assistant, and I am back with another video. So you clicked on this video because you are thinking about possibly either becoming a virtual assistant, maybe you're interested in it, or maybe you are a business owner and you're thinking about bringing a virtual assistant onto your team. And so you're wondering, what is a virtual assistant? So I'm glad you asked. So, a virtual assistant is someone who works virtually, of course, from anywhere across the world to help you in your business, whether it's administratively. Sometimes people call it a virtual assistant, and it could be doing some marketing things. It could be doing graphics. It's a plethora of things it could be doing in your business virtually. But a lot of times, virtual assistant is just a looser word for a virtual kind of employee, not employee, but a virtual contractor, right? Um, what a contractor is it someone who the person that is paying you does not take taxes out of your paycheck or invoice. And so let's say if you bill $300 a month, the small business owner or the entrepreneur would pay you $300. It is up to you to abide by whatever your local or federal laws are concerning your taxes. But they're just going to give you all the money that you charge per your invoice. And then you are reporting that money to however way y'all report it, whatever country you're in. And then typically, like I know in the United States, they will send you, I believe it's a 1099 NEC. I think is what I received. I want to say it's a 1099 NEC. I know it ends in NEC. Is what I received, and I take that paper and I file my taxes. I use my payment processing system, which is called Wave Apps, and that's how I track all my invoices and I compare what they send me to what my payment processing system is saying by the end of the year, and that tells me if they're right. And of course, I also know how much they pay me every month, so it's pretty easy to calculate because my invoices are very consistent. And so I kind of know. Unfortunately, for people that might be more of a graphic designer that might just charge by the piece of graphic or the piece of artwork, it might be a little bit different for you. But for me, my business is very consistent. So I typically know each month what I'm going to get, unless for some reason clients pay me late, which is a very rare occurrence. But it could possibly happen. So, a virtual assistant again could be outside the United States. It could be inside the United States, and again, they will handle a certain back end task for your business depending on their expertise and depending on what you might need assistance with. So, for example, they may be doing all of your administrative pieces. That's your invoicing, your calendar management, your email management, documentation, typing, taking notes, things like that. That is typically a general admin virtual assistant, but you can have someone in your business that just does that. You could also have someone who calls themselves the virtual assistant, but they're actually more like a social media manager, which is called an SMM. You might see that floating around, SMM for short. What a social media manager does is they are handling your social media accounts, like your Instagram, your Facebook, your LinkedIn, possibly YouTube, but typically social media managers are Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and like if you have X, formerly known as Twitter, they could be managing that too. Normally YouTube is typically managed by like a video production team or something like that. But if your social media manager offers YouTube, then hey, that's even better if they're good at it. Because just because somebody offered a service don't mean they're good at it. Because some people are trying to be a jack of all trades but a master of none, and so they'll tell you, "Oh, I could do that too." You're like, you do social media manager and your general admin VA, and you can handle my podcast production, and you can handle. Uh, Granted, could they be really good at all these things? Hey, they could. But that's not something I would suggest. Even if you're thinking about being a virtual assistant, I would definitely tell you not to offer all the things, because also there's different price points. And so if you offer all the stuff, then you really could be cheating yourself out of money, because a general admin virtual assistant should not be getting paid the same thing as a podcast production manager. They should not be making the same amount of money, because the listening to the audio and tweaking it, editing the audio and all that stuff, and then creating the graphics. And or if you have a graphics designer, or if you are a graphic designer, you should definitely not be getting paid the same amount of money as a general admin virtual assistant, because again, graphics are a lot more work than just doing like the calendar management, email management. Now, granted, it could be you could be doing a lot of heavy calendar management, a lot of heavy email management, but the level of skill versus somebody that's a graphic designer that's in what's the Photoshop, that's in Photoshop or whatever other tool they use to create graphics, is a lot more learning than versus a doing calendar management or email management. So in my personal opinion, unless you're charging top rates just to do admin work, then you really would be now cheating the client if you are charging like really high money to do email management, calendar management, like you're charging $60 an hour to do that, and then you're still charging $60 an hour to do graphic work. Now I understand the graphic work at $60, but general admin, I don't agree with that being $60 personally. But of course, as independent contractors, we do get to set our own rates, so that's the beauty of it. But I think integrity wise, we shouldn't overcharge people. That's just my own personal thing. I do believe in not cheating people. I do believe in just scales. So if someone is again charging overboard, like overcharging their customers, I don't agree with that. And so that's just something I kind of wanted to put out there. But so again, they're independent contractors. They offer whatever services they would like to offer. They could be anywhere across the world. You do set your own availability typically. Now, I would suggest as a contractor, you do keep in mind your client's time zones. So let's say I'm in the United States, I'm on the East Coast, right? So I'm on Eastern time. Now, if you live in another country and let's say you are 7 hours ahead of me, you do want to keep that in mind. So it wouldn't be right to say your office hours are 8 to 5 when that person is sleeping from, like your client is sleeping from 8 to 5. I think you should have some type of availability during their time zone. Um, Even if it's just 3 hours where you're available for questions and things like that. And typically the rest of the work you do is during your time zone. I completely understand that. But I do think there should be some availability to answer questions that they may have in their time zone so that y'all aren't always missing each other. So I do think that that's important to do as a virtual assistant or as an independent contractor with any service. You should consider the person's time zone. Um, and so that's another thing to think about. And then I would say, let me see, I'm trying to think to see if there's anything else I would say about being a virtual assistant. And so I have had some questions about how did I find clients? Where do you find clients? I definitely can make a more in-depth video kind of explaining how I found some of the clients that I have. Um, and so I would again definitely say is that to keep your options open as far as like what task and services you would do. Definitely keep it open, because I don't want you to say, well, I don't offer this, I don't offer that. Keep it open if that's something that you like to do or you're able to do, but make sure you have packages around those things. So keep an open mind, because you don't want to miss an opportunity that you actually may have enjoyed, because you say, well, I don't offer this, but you know how to do it and you like it. Now, if that's what you want to say, you don't offer, you don't want to do it, you're not interested, that's great. But definitely be open to possibly even having more than one stream of income. Like, let's say you do a general admin work for this client, but this client, you're their graphics person. And so you have two different packages that you're charging. So I would definitely say keep it open to if they need help somewhere else. If you offer email marketing, that's another thing. Um, that's another thing someone may have a virtual assistant for, is for email marketing. And so if that's something you are skilled in, then you definitely can have that on the side, that you offer an email marketing package. Definitely keep your options open, because virtual assisting can open you up to so many opportunities, possibly even becoming their employee at some point if they blow up like that, or personally starting your own agency if it gets to that point. There's so many things you could do as a virtual assistant. You are not locked in at all. Um, You can offer proofreading and editing, which is something that I do offer as well. I've proofread books, ebooks, newsletters, emails, documents, all kinds of things because I love to read. And I love like proper English sentencing structures, things like that. So that is definitely something you can be thinking about as well to offer. And so I hope this answers your question as to what is a virtual assistant. If you're a business owner and you're thinking about, should I bring someone onto my team? I would definitely say, when you've gotten to that point to bring someone on when you are completely overwhelmed, or when you are taking too much time doing admin things, and you could be doing things that bring more money into your business. So that's something you want to consider is your time. Like, how much is your time worth, and what is your budget? So if you're like, yeah, I think, you know, me saving, having more time to take care of X, Y, and Z is an investment that I'm ready to make, and that time is important to me, then you can go ahead and invest in a virtual assistant. Just figure out how much your budget is, what skills you need them to have. And a virtual assistant, be thinking about what skills you have. Write down the skills that you have. Figure out what things you want to offer, and then you can definitely create packages around what you offer. You can create an hourly package, or you can create packages based on off of certain objectives that you're going to do. Create 3 graphics a month. Create I'm going to handle this many social media posts to Facebook, Instagram, X amount of times per month. This many story posts, this many reels, whatever it is. You really get to kind of plot your own what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. Y'all know the word I'm trying to say. You can really set your business up however you would like to set it up. It was one more thing I was going to say, but I've now forgotten what it was, so that is okay. But again, it is really and truly up to you and what you would like your business to look like, and that's the beauty of virtual assistant work. And then you can also subcontract. So once you've gotten to the point where you are totally booked out, then you can subcontract and you can bring another virtual assistant under you at a lower rate than yourself, because of course you have to pay you and them. And then you start giving them some of your work because you are completely booked out. I have definitely been there before where I'm completely booked out. And so yeah, those are a couple of tips. Let me know in the comments down below. Did you know what a virtual assistant was? Are you thinking about being a virtual assistant? What is stopping you from being a virtual assistant? And if you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email or leave it in the comments down below. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you all next time. Bye.